Hey, what's up, good people? It's Jay Ray, the co host of Q Points, and I wanted to come to you because there are two really important ways that you can support our show. One is by subscribing to it wherever you listen to or watch your podcasts. Q Points is pretty much everywhere. The other thing that you can do is you can visit us on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, and on Podchaser, and you can leave us a star rating. Please rate us 5 stars because you know you love Q Points. And on Apple Podcasts and on Podchaser, you can actually leave us a written review. It's not required, but it really does help to spread the word about the show, and it helps people to discover it as they're looking for new podcasts to listen to. We're always appreciative of you supporting Q Points. We thank you so much for all that you've done for us so far, and enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am DJ Sir Daniel.
And my name is Jay Ray, sometimes known by my government as Johnny Ray Cornegay III. What's happening, good people?
Allow me to reintroduce us. We are the Podcast Academy nominated nominees, Q Points, dropping the needle on Black music history. Can I get a hand clap, a soul clap, everybody on that? J Ray, woo, first of all, let's give thanks for the toothpicks that are holding our eyes up right now, because I think both of us are still coming down from the adrenaline rush and also traveling from one time zone into another. So our bodies are still catching up.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that mode of like, oh, that was a thing that was done. My
That
body,
really
my body, I'm sure is like, I don't know what time it is. It's dark outside. Sure, let's just go with what we are. So yeah, as you can see, the bags, but we are here, y'all, and we are now. We can say this, right? The Podcast Academy Ambies nominated podcast Q Points, because we did that. We did that.
We did a thing, J Ray, and again, I am super proud of us. Like I said, as part of my acceptance speech, and the funny thing, I'm sentimental about stuff like that.
Mhm.
So, guys, I wrote down our acceptance speech,
Yeah.
and I'm keeping that acceptance speech because there will come a time when we're going to need it. It might need a little updating and other names to be added to it, but that paper is still folded in my wallet, and I'm going to keep that with me as a reminder each and every single time. But I think the major part of my thank yous, and I'm sure that J Ray will echo
Mhm.
this, is we want to thank you all right now that are listening.
Mhm.
You all that are in the chat right now, Carlton, Mark, Trey, Wani, our day ones. We
Mhm.
want to thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for riding along with us on this journey, because it's been a journey and it's just been super dope, to
Mhm.
be to come back every week and do this show. By May, we will be approaching our 100th show.
Yeah.
So, maybe we need to plan something, or, make something a special to
Yeah.
do about that for sure.
Yeah.
Because we're at almost at 100 shows, and we're so happy that you guys are along for the ride.
Yeah. It has been a really cool moment, and knowing that um you guys and folks tuned in, like we were getting messages and seeing Twitter
Oh
posts.
man.
Our folks, they reminisce over you. It was like, we see y'all down in the front. You know what I'm
It was
saying?
like, oh, there they go.
There they go. There they go. You know what I mean? Means so much. And y'all, listen, to put it in context, and I don't know if we want to talk about this now or later, but y'all need to understand how far we climbed to get up on that board. Right. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it, and it's because one, y'all be rocking with us. Two, Sir Daniel, I have to say for us both, I'm really proud of the content that we deliver, the quality by which we deliver it, and the thought we put into it, because it clearly resonated. Our category was sponsored by the Hollywood Reporter. We were the only indie podcast in the category.
And see, I don't know if that might not mean anything to
Right.
you guys, but what J Ray is saying is that a lot of the people that we were contending along with, they actually have sponsors.
Yep.
They have backers. Some of them are on national television.
Yep.
This right here, Q Points, the little engine that could, is strictly J Ray and Sir Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
It's strictly us pushing the knobs, pushing the buttons, coming up with topics each and every week,
Yep.
scripting, everything you can think of, the editing, all of that. That is strictly in house. And so it needs to be said, a special shout out to all the DIY podcasts
Mm-hmm.
out there. And we're going to get to our, our
Yes.
our one of our favorites, who was a
Yep.
winner that night. That it's a lot of hard work. And it's so funny, when I was at work today at my 9 to 5, I was telling my coworkers about the experience. And one of my coworkers was explaining to me, oh yeah, there's a lady that she can help create your podcast for you for such and such amount of money. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, wow, what does she
Mm-hmm.
do? And she literally said that the person that does this, that offers the service, does everything you can think of that just these two people are doing here,
Yep.
as far as the editing, the
Yep.
uploading clips, creating clips, and has a studio,
Yep.
lights the studio, mics the studio, everything. And I'm like, oh wow, yeah. Well,
Wait,
we're not luxurious like that right now.
but wait, baby is coming.
It's coming.
It's coming. Like that is the other, I think one of the big takeaways from this as well for me, Sir Daniel, is we're gonna keep on this path. We do want the folks, the studio, we want a Q Point studio with that, and to really take this thing
Hmm.
to the top and keep bringing y'all the people that we love. We are going to be here for y'all.
And some of those people that we absolutely love is actually in the chat right now.
Mm-hmm.
But being a part of the Black Podcast Association
Yes.
is really like an extra gust of wind under your wings,
Yep.
because we literally felt like there were other members there as well, and
Yep.
we already felt like a family. We
Mm-hmm.
found each other already, when
Yeah.
we were in the space, we all found each other in the space, and we gravitated to each other,
Yep.
and we held on to each other, and we're talking like just old cousins,
Yep.
from back in the day. And so shout out to the Black Podcast Association, Corey Gums. Thank you
Yep.
so much for creating that extra family, creating that extra foundation and support, natural support for us.
Yeah.
So we don't want you crying over
Right. No,
your foam
I
latte, but we got to give you your flowers, man. We got to give them to you.
absolutely. Corey is such a thug. So that's crazy that we got him
Those are
tearing
thug
up.
tears.
Right.
Those are thug tears, right?
Queens dudes don't cry. I can hear it right.
Queens get the money. But J Ray, I think the best part about this was just the whole experience itself. It
So
was an
much.
adventure,
It was.
because we're both coming from the East Coast, but we're coming from two separate cities
Mm-hmm.
to converge upon Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen,
Which is a thing.
which is a whole thing. And can I tell you? So, all right, so let's just get into it. Let's just start recapping from the beginning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we all know that we live in a world where going to the airport is an adventure
It is.
in of itself. Now, I'm a fast learner. I do not play when it comes to going to the airport. I use a parking service that has a shuttle, because I don't want any issues. I get there like 4 hours I get the 2 hours in advance. No, 4 hours in advance because I don't want any issues. I don't want any issues with TSA. I book everything online so that's already taken care of. All I have to do is press a button and my baggage tag is printed out.
Mm-hmm.
I hand that off and go through TSA. I'm done because I don't want any issues. I need to catch flights, all that kind of stuff. But I will say Hartsfield Jackson Airport is like, aside from being the busiest airport
Mm-hmm.
in the nation, you see all kinds of people. You
Absolutely.
see all kinds of walks of life. Um, I told you who I saw in the that was working TSA. I'm not going to
Oh,
say
you
who
did?
it
Yeah, yeah,
is,
yeah, you did.
but
Yes.
it was the most random sighting. I was like, hold up, are you? And I don't know. I don't think they know me personally, so they probably didn't recognize me, and that's fine because I'm not about blowing up people's spots while they're at work. But
Yes.
but
A
that was
legend.
I, I was like, oh, okay. And they kept it moving. I kept it
Right.
moving and got to my gate. Well, I was on the way to the gate. Ray, that was one random sighting. Then I ran into the mother of a client that I had years ago. I'm talking
Wow.
about decades ago. Um, when this boy was, I met this boy when he was 13.
Mm-hmm.
He's now 26, and she was telling me about how he's doing now, and I was like, oh, and how's his little brother? Oh, she was like, oh, he just walked past you, and I was like, that grown man that
Right.
just walked past. So it was literally like the universe was saying, hey, look where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Look where you are in life right now. Look where you come from, how
Yeah.
far you've come, and it was just those little moments, those little specks, little flashes from the universe of saying, hey, take a look around and just think about where you come from, and what you're getting into. And so sitting at the gate, of course, I had a lot of time to look around, to wait, to think. But as the people started accumulating around our gate, I started taking inventory of the people that were going to be on the plane with me, because
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be on a plane with each other for at least 3 to 3.5 hours, right?
Right.
And I just noticed people that were on their way to Vegas, they kind of have a look.
they, they do.
There's a Vegas aesthetic, if you will. And all of you out there, please don't send any hate mail or anything. I'm not coming down on people from
Mm-hmm.
Vegas. I'm just very observant, and I just noticed some things. I was like, there's just let's just talk about the dress. People look like they were dressing for a circuit party from 2000,
Yes.
from the
I found,
2000s.
yeah, I found a lot of shiny things. There was a lot of
Yes.
shiny things. Um
A lot of trucker hats.
Tons of trucker hats. Um, my experience, it looked like, I don't know, people had done it before. It's like, no, this is a thing that I do. I go to Vegas. And in my experience, this was my first time in Vegas. So I didn't have this thing. But yeah, you can definitely tell that the people who go to Vegas definitely have a look. But we both experienced the children. There was a lot of children.
Folks, can somebody tell me, when did Vegas become the Disney World of the desert?
What do kids do in Vegas?
And tons of kids. Like, what are y'all? Why were y'all flying your kids out to Vegas? What's happening in Vegas? Can somebody tell us? Email us something and let us know what that was about. Because we both, like J. Ray said, we both experienced like crying babies, restless children, all on this flight to Las Vegas, and
Mhm.
we're just wondering why.
Right.
Okay, Corey
Cheap
says it's a
vacation.
cheap vacation.
Yeah,
Sure. Okay.
sure.
I mean, little JoJo wants to pull the slot machine. Sure, I can see
Now,
that happening.
of course, you see the signs in Vegas that says you have to be 21 or older, right, to be a part of this. That's okay. So I'm going to read Mark's comment because this is really interesting. The last time I was in Vegas, I was a kid in the 90s. There was a circus and the Hoover Dam. Okay, so
Okay,
I guess there's kid
fair.
stuff to do in
That's fair.
Vegas.
What the
My
kids can't do though, Johnny, is inhale too much of the air.
Okay, so I want to. Okay, real quick, we're gonna get to that. I do want to. My Philly airport experience was
Mm,
very straightforward. Like Philly is a
okay.
small airport. It could be hell to get into, but once you get in there, you don't have a lot going on. Okay, I do have a question. So I think we both flew Frontier. I don't
Mm-hmm.
mind Frontier. I mind Spirit. I don't mind Frontier. Like I
Yeah.
have real feelings about Spirit flights. My problem though with Frontier, and I don't understand this, and I need to ask. I don't understand how they do the overhead bagging thing. Because here's what happens:
Okay.
the people that pay are in zone one to have their bag, but they don't. They use the front for those people, but those people aren't always sitting in the front. Some of those people are sitting in the back. So what happens is, guaranteed, people are going to come late, or they're going to have to buy their bag after the fact. So what happens
Mm-hmm.
is they have to go past where they sit to put their bag up because everybody's flooded the front
The
things. And
front.
that's the most confusing. If somebody listens to this and works for Spirit, please
I mean,
explain
Frontier,
to me, or
Frontier,
Frontier,
Frontier.
Frontier,
Mm-hmm.
for Frontier, please explain to me why the people can't just roll their bag back to where they're sitting. So
Mm.
then at the end of the flight, people aren't getting up to rush, to run to get their bag from the back of the plane because they were late getting on the flight. Well, okay, let's pick up where you were. The cigarette smoking in Vegas.
Whew.
No shade to
Folks,
people that smoke. No shade at all. The ventilation in them casinos was not made.
J Ran said this time and time again. We felt like we were transported back into the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember in the 80s, you can go to a Wendy's restaurant and you can walk in and there's a full cloud of smoke
Mm-hmm.
in one particular area because they even had ashtrays on the table. All my Gen Xers remember this. They had ashtrays on the table. You could sit there and smoke at the table while
Mm-hmm.
you eat your double stack.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it is everywhere in Vegas. All the casinos, the restaurant. Vegas is a cigarette smoke friendly town where there another kind of smoke friendly town as well.
Right.
But
another kind of smoke friendly town as well.
exactly. But the cigarettes though, that was and it wasn't foreign to me. I knew it was gonna happen, but it just I'm a little taken aback when I see people smoking inside.
Inside.
I'm just not used to it anymore because we live places where that is completely banned.
Yeah, I was completely like walking through the hotel. I was just like, wait, what's happening? And then you just saw it. And I was like, oh, this is a thing here. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know that this ventilation is optimized to handle this.
That's right, Mark. I remember. Yes, you're right, Mark. People used to be able to smoke on airplanes when we were kids, which is so. Imagine that. Ugh.
Imagine that. Can you that small them planes we be on and people, child? I would be like, baby, let me off. How do you breathe? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
So much, so much. So, but thank God, guys. I gotta tell you, J Ray. For a minute, I thought Jay wasn't going to make it because
I was really
your
delayed.
flight got delayed. What, at least three times,
Three
for three
times.
hours, and
Yeah.
you literally came in the dead of night.
I did. I came to Vegas in the dead of night and I left in the dead of night. This has been an adventurous trip. My flight was delayed 3 times. So turns out the plane that was going to take me. So of course, Frontier is point to point, like
Mm-hmm.
Southwest. So the plane makes its rounds. You know what I'm saying? So the plane had been late all day. So it got to Philly late. So obviously we didn't get to Vegas until late. So I didn't arrive in Vegas, y'all, until 2:30 a.m.
My
For
God.
context, that means I arrived in Vegas at 5:30 my time, the time I left. 5:30 a.m. I'd been up a very, very long time. I did
Mm-hmm.
sleep really well on the plane, but got there Okay, so I go to check into the hotel. I go to check into the hotel. Now, what was dope? So first of all, Crystal Hill is in the chat. Shout out to
Crystal,
Crystal Hill in
we
the
got a segment
chat.
all about you. We got a segment all about you already,
Right.
Crystal. So hang
Absolutely.
tight. Stay right where
Hang
you are.
tight. So I loved that the Uber situation was really solid. The Ubers were really
Mhm.
cheap in Vegas. I appreciate a cheap Lyft and Uber.
Facts. Absolutely.
Appreciate it. So we get to the hotel. I'm doing the movement because that's what was happening. So I go up to the counter and I give the person my ID and he just starts typing. Yes. He's not saying anything to me yet, but he has my ID and there's a lot of typing. There is a paragraphs of typing that are happening on this.
What was what was the physical state of this person that was clacking
It was
away?
a lot of lean. It was a slender person
Mm-hmm.
who I don't know what was going on, y'all. I don't know what was going on. I don't know. I
Did they
don't
look like
know.
they had partaken in anything earlier to keep them up all night? Possibly. Is that what you're
I'm mentioning no possiblies, allegedlys, or the hotel. But let me just say, I was standing there like,
Hmm.
what is he doing? But anyway, um, finally, after it was all
METHO,
done, it
man.
was like, okay, so we're ready to. After at least 2 or 3 minutes of clacking, y'all, I have to be really clear. He was like, "Okay, so we're ready to take care of the payment. Things will appear there." I'm like, "Girl, well, what were you typing?" I'm like, "What's all of this
There was a
stuff?"
whole lot.
It was a lot going and swaying. So anyway, that was super funny. The other thing that I found surprising, before we move off of this too, is just how these hotels are one-stop shops. They had 10
Everything.
restaurants or whatever,
Yep.
stores. It was like a mall in there. You literally don't have to leave, and thank God, because I
There was a vending machine for cake
for
in
cake
the hotel.
that went
Slices
out
of
of
cake.
order, yo.
We were about to have our full fat boy fantasy and buy these pieces of cake from the vending machine because they were completely full earlier
Yes.
that day. But then by the time we got around to it, there was a whole sign on the vending machine that said, "Oh, this vending machine is under repair," and all the cakes were gone. But I must say, um, while J Ray had gotten in, I'd actually gotten in on time.
Yes.
And so we were actually supposed to like link at the same,
Yep.
when he got in, we were going to link, get to the room and crash out, right?
Right.
But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. I got there much earlier than J Ray.
Mm-hmm.
So, but luckily, as fate would have it, as the universe, God has got me, I got a text from an old buddy who lives in Vegas, who's been living in Vegas now for the past few years. And the text was like, "What time is your flight? I'm coming to get you."
Ah.
And sure enough, I got out there and he told me, "All right, come up to the station where you get picked up by your public transportation." I got out there. He pulls up in the truck out because it was a truck that I hadn't seen before.
Right.
The last truck he had completely different color, completely different style. And when he pulled up in front of me, the windows were tinted, and I had to give one of those.
Oh.
Oh, that's how we
Oh.
riding out here. And so pulled up, ladies and gentlemen. I have to give it up for my old buddy. A lot of you may remember him, my friend Drama Dupree pulled up and picked me up, and it was a full circle moment because so we're here to celebrate being nominated for Q Points podcasting. Podcasting has come a long way in say the past 12, 15 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as part of that wave when it first started, Drama Dupree and I set out a very long time ago to create a show called Better Days Radio. And in that time, the two of us we spoken to a lot of people who have actually become very popular.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we had guests on our shows that, we had Kid Fury on the show
Yep.
prior to him being on the read. This
Mm-hmm.
is when he just had the blog, and he was, just doing blog things and making people laugh through his blogs. Because remember how popular blogs were.
Blogs work. Yep. That's the blog era.
Um, there is gosh, who else? I'm forgetting, but that's just
Mm-hmm.
an example of who we've had on the show. We were groundbreaking for back
Yeah.
then. And then, of course, we had our podcast, but then, of course, Drama went on to do viral videos.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you, all I'm going to say is Food Stamp Wars. If you know about the Food Stamp Wars, you know about the Food Stamp Wars. That is the Drama Dupree.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a great time because Drama used to live here in Atlanta, and we were reminiscing on how I both of us live far away from the home recording studio of a friend of mine named Noki Anderson. Noki lived way out in Loganville.
Mm-hmm.
Both Drama and I lived in like the opposite side of Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were so dedicated to making this podcast a thing that we would be so dead tired at that time after working and whatnot, but we would still go to that house and record episodes
Mm-hmm.
because we really wanted to do this. We really wanted to be a part of the conversation. We wanted to do new things, and represent ourselves and the community. And as time would have it, things didn't work out as planned, but
But
we still kept on in our different fields and just being who we are. And like I said, Drama's reputation will live on forever
yes.
because he is a legend of his own.
Mm-hmm.
Food
we
Stamp Wars. If you can find Food Stamp Wars, you're a G. If you can find that video. But yeah, it was great reuniting with him and sharing that moment. He would have been with us at the award show because I wanted him there, but he was celebrating his birthday, so he was on his way to Miami. But I'm so thankful he was there because J Ray was a whole 3 to 4 hours later
right.
before I could get to the hotel, and it was good having that time to catch up with him and reminisce. But then it was even better. I had the pleasure of introducing J Ray and Drama
Yeah.
because y'all had never
We had
met.
never met, and we had I got the chance to love on him a bit because this one of the stories that I told Drama is I mentioned to my brother like, oh, Adrian's friend Drama Dupree is picking him up. My brother was like, who? And I said, Drama Dupree. He was like, oh my God. I loved Drama Dupree. I used to be on his YouTube, and my brother was like, no, because I wasn't a YouTube guy back then. He was like, no,
Mm-hmm.
Drama was big on YouTube before
Absolutely.
YouTube was a thing. So my
Yep.
brother was very excited about the idea that I was going to meet Drama. So I got a chance to even share that story about like how my brother, who is a pop culture phenomenon himself, is like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God, like Drama Dupree, you like that's dope. So we had such a good time chopping it up, and it was great to meet Drama. And what was so dope about this full circle moment, seeing Sir Daniel experience this full circle moment, is how you were able to start your podcasting career really early, and the person that you started it with was there. And now we are working together. And so we were both there in this
Mm-hmm.
hotel as we're being nominated for this award. Was like a super, I felt really good about that.
It was an awesome, awesome moment. So we actually, that was a lunch date that we all
Yeah.
had. It was supposed to be a breakfast date, but
Right.
Drama had an appointment.
Women. Mm-hmm.
So what do you do when you're in Vegas? You go get breakfast.
You go get
And
we
if
listen.
you know J Ray is a foodie.
Yep.
J Ray is a foodie. J Ray is about, oh, we about to find where the black people go eat breakfast,
Yes.
and we about to chow down. And J Ray, you found some place for us to go.
I found some place for us to go. We got there, and apparently during the pandemic, they went from eat in to take out. I was devastated.
Do okay, do y'all know that clip of Nene going to see Kenya's first apartment
That's
and
what we
how
was
Nene
given.
Nene famously, when she gets out of when she famously gets out of her Range Rover, she says, "Ooh,
Ooh,
the
ghetto.
ghetto." To say the area that we were in was a little sketch is being nice about it. It was a little sketchy.
It was a little sketchy. So we learned a very valuable lesson about Vegas in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So Vegas, especially near the strip, is just generally a little sketchy.
Yeah.
So we decided to leave that place. We found a place right down the street. Now, meanwhile, y'all, to be clear, we're only walking about 3 blocks. Well, within that 3 blocks, we saw a lot. We saw a lot in the 3 blocks. I can't even explain the randomness of it all.
Yeah. Vegas has its own form of urban decay.
Yeah.
Was explained to me is that if you go further out into the suburbs, everything is a lot, I guess, nicer, a lot
Mm-hmm.
cleaner and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but when you get into the city, when you get closer to the strip where all the action is, that's where you see, the urban decay. That's where you see the people experiencing homelessness.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you see all of that.
Yes.
But one thing, Jerry, that you did not mention was that we left our hotel that had probably about 700 restaurants in it. We left thinking, oh yeah, we about to go eat where the locals are going to eat. And then we said, okay, that doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so let's just go find another local. So we decided on one spot, and guess where the breakfast spot was located?
In another
Inside
hotel.
another hotel. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Vegas in a nutshell. Like I think they do that on purpose
Right.
because they really don't want you to leave. They want you to be separated with your money as much as possible in
Right.
Vegas. That's why they got slot machines everywhere.
Everywhere. So to be clear, we get now this is the day of the
The
award
award show.
show.
Mm-hmm.
We we go to get the breakfast, and there is a incredibly talented server who is our server. The reason why I'm saying this, that he's incredibly talented, is because that's what he was telling the people that he was currently serving about how talented he was.
And while our stomachs were hitting our backs, we sat there and listened to him tell even more reasons why he's insanely talented and doesn't understand why he isn't famous yet. And J Ray and I are trying to be really kind and patient. And we're like, look, almost famous. Hey, can we get some water or some coffee over here? And he does. I will say he acknowledged us. He brought us some water.
No, it was
I don't know.
it was another person.
What do you call the server that assists us, the main server?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that term was, but they were very on it. Like, we had coffee,
they had
and
water, coffee, yes. And so he was like, hey fellas, I'll be right with you. But yes, I'm insanely talented. It's only a matter of time, and I'm not ageist, but it was like, brother man was a little, he was a little long in the tooth. He'd been around for a minute. He was seasoned.
He was,
and I get it though. Never give up. Never give up on your dreams. But right now, we need a stack of pancakes over here. Can you help us out with that?
So to put this in perspective, we give him the order. And he goes back to the people.
He goes back to and I know that poor. First of all, it was a poor older couple, and God bless them. They sat there and listened to him, and they were like, oh, they even patted him on the back. The woman rubbed his back and was like, we hope things turn around for you. And we were just like, okay, about my Grand Slam Black Breakfast or whatever it was called. I need that now. We were just looking around like, please. And while we're waiting through the cigarette smoke,
right,
and our stomachs are touching our backs, please, can we have food, please?
Y'all, it was such an adventure. So we leave there, and of course the thing, what does Q Points have to do? We obviously had to go and find some music, so we took another adventure
Yep.
to still sketch
Very
area.
sketchy town.
Very
Yes.
sketchy. We ended up at a dope ass record store called Record City. If you're ever in Vegas, go
Mm-hmm.
to the one that's near the strip. It's on. I'm gonna pull the address. But
It's
I
a
think it's
purple.
Santa Fe. Santa Fe is it?
It's a purple shack. You cannot
Yep.
miss it. It may
Yes.
not look like much on the outside, but when you go in, you're a music lover. They have got a wonderful selection of
Yes.
records. Very, very nice people. The guys that
Mm-hmm.
were working in there, super nice.
Yep.
Um, and they turned us on to a local gentleman
Yep.
who is also a huge music lover and a YouTuber. So we're connecting with that gentleman
Yep.
to see what we can do. Do a
Yeah.
show maybe and connect about the scene in Las Vegas. But Jay, you got quite a few records,
I
and
did.
I have your
You
records
have,
because
yes.
because you said I'm not paying
I'm
extra
not
to have
paying
your
them extra
people.
money so I could put it overhead. But one of the things I wanted to point out that I found, and I was like, oh my God. One, and Sir Daniel will tell you this. I'm one of those people, I get caught up. You get me in a record store and I'm like, oh shit,
Mhm.
$100 later. I
Right.
literally had to stop. I was like, okay, just stop. And I had him even take a record out. No,
Mhm.
I asked him to take a record out. He was like, what if I gave it to you for $3? I was like, well, keep it in then.
He was like, oh, well,
Right.
goddamn.
Well, keep it in if you're gonna do it for $3. But I found Larry Lair's only album. Larry Lair is an MC out of
Ooh.
Philly. The record came out in 1990. And I hadn't seen that record in years. And I was happy I got the CD. And so, but
Mhm.
I got like four other joints. But you got something really dope too.
Yeah, and I got it for free because Mr. Big Spender over here has spent so much that they were like, you know what, this is just $2. I'm just gonna throw it in here for you, and I appreciate that. But so back in the day, these labels would come around and they would create these compilation records that would feature, hip hop artists and a lot of their songs. And this one in particular was called "Word Is" by Word Up Records, and it literally is. They must be like a Philadelphia label because this record features quite a few songs from DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, including "Girls of the World Ain't Nothing But
Mm-hmm.
Trouble." But on the flip side, it features "Guys Ain't Nothing But Trouble" by Ice Cream Tea,
Mm-hmm.
who I've talked about before on the
Yep.
show, who I've it's such a mystery to me because she was really dope. She's out of Philly, but like there's no trace of her
Right.
on these internets. And nobody can, if you're in Philly and you know what's going on with Bettina Clark, aka Ice Cream Tea, please let us know. But I was looking for that song because there was a 12-inch that featured Jazzy Jeff's version Fresh Prince's version on the front, and on the B side is Ice Cream Tea's version. And Jeff is, Will and Jeff are actually on her record as well because they
Yeah.
produced it, I'm assuming. So that was a nice little find for me. Um, yeah, we threw it in the bag.
Yeah.
Speaking of De La Soul, Carlton, they had a really excellent copy of 3 Feet High and Rising that was very well priced.
Yes.
Now I know most people have spent hundreds of dollars on that debut album,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that the reissues
Yep.
maybe a little bit more, but this one, it was in pristine condition and it had a
Mm-hmm.
comic book in it, and it was for the low cheaps. And I looked at J Ray, I was like, this is a good ass price.
It
Like,
is. It was. They have a good selection, yo. So shout out to
really
them.
dope selection.
And they were really like, we were just talking to them. Like they were like introducing us to what they were doing in Vegas. And like Sir Daniel said, other YouTubers. So yeah, Record City, and they're recordcityonline.com if you wanted to buy some stuff and have it shipped to you. Very, very proud of that. And they tried to get me. They was like, you might like stuff on the wall. And I'm like, no.
Yep. And it was so funny. We last week we did the Patrice
Patrice
Russian
Russian.
show,
Hmm.
and standing right there on the wall was
Her
Patrice
first album.
with her afro standing
Yep.
next to that piano. I was like, we were just talking about Patrice and this album, and there it
Yes.
was staring us in the face. So that it was just a universe led moment, one
Yep.
after another. And then by that time, it was time to go back to the hotel and get ready.
So we had to get ready. So me and Sir Dan, we had to get fly because we had to be ready, if we were going to win this award. Like, we had to go on stage, and Sir Daniel had his speech. So fortunately, earlier that day, I think we had both done our prep work and didn't have much to do in terms of getting ready. But both Sir Daniel and I did something new. So I think we both had new sneakers.
We had new kicks, yes, because
Yes.
we can't. This is a special occasion. I'm not traveling cross country in my old dusties, to walk on stage and accept an award. So, being the Generation X fly
Oh,
guy that I am,
here we got pictures of it. Here we are.
oh
This is
yes,
the fit.
right. So here's the fit. So J Ray and I both agreed, like, we gotta be fly, we gotta represent, but we gotta be a little classy at the same time.
Yeah.
And to be fair, a lot of people were rocking the blazer, t-shirt, pants, sneaker combo.
Yes.
Which is par for the course for a lot of people, right? So we did that. But like I said, we both went out and found new sneakers for this event because we wanted to be fly. I wear a size 13.
Yeah.
So when you wear a size 13 and above, styles, colors, selection, all of that gets a lot smaller.
Right.
It gets very narrow for people with larger feet. And so I'm not, if I'm going to drop some money on some sneakers, I want them to look the way I want them to look, or at least I want something fly, something nice that I can look at and rock. And it just was an adventure for me. I ended up at the what is it called? The Greenbrier
Yes.
I won't say flea market, the Greenbrier public market out in Southwest Atlanta, where they got all the sneakers, but I just did not find anything. As a matter of fact, nobody was carrying any 13s and anything that I like. So I went over by Greenbrier Mall. It just became a whole thing. And at one point I was just like, look, I became overwhelmed. I was like, I'm not making myself anxious over this. I'm just going to go to another mall closer to home tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that next day that I actually went in one place, and yeah. So let me say this. Walking through Greenbrier Mall, I got called OG.
Oh, that's a win. All right. It's all right, Sir Daniel. You've
I'm a,
arrived.
I'm looking around at the sneakers, and a young man was like, "Oh, excuse me, OG," and I was just like, at first I was like, "Did he just call me old?"
Right.
But then I said, "No, he called me OG." He probably saw the salt and pepper, the gray beard and whatnot, and was like,
respectful.
Respectfully, he was like, I was like, huh. I guess I am an OG this point to somebody that age.
Yes.
And so I found a pair of sneakers. The ones I wanted originally were a lot more colorful. They cost a little bit more, but of course, they only had them in a size 11.
Yes.
Which is something that you hear. I don't know what it is about 9s and 11s. People that wear size 9, y'all run the world. The world is at your fingertips. You get everything.
10 too. I'm a 10 and a half guy. So it's very rare that you'll find sneakers in that size. I don't know if anybody who's listening are those sizes. Let me know your experience, because my experience is they're always out. Which is why I say 10 or 10 and a half, because it's really a 10, but I can wear a 10 and a half, and those in particular are 10 and a halves. And also to that point, Sir Daniel, I think we are both wearing sentimental things. So Drama gave you something special. I'm wearing a kufi. I brought my grandmama's kufi. So my grandma's favorite color was purple, and I wore it. It even had her bobby pin in the back. I left it there because when she got cancer, she would pin her wigs, the kufi to the wigs, and so I wore that, and that was my special little touch to bring to the Ambies.
Grandma was with us that
Yeah.
evening. She was hanging out with us, and I love that. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Mhm.
You had your grandma's kufi. Drama Dupree has this line of jewelry called Jackson Smith, and he was like, "Oh, here, put this on," and
It's
it's a string of
lovely.
pearls. It's a string of pearls, but there's white, and then there's some gold ones, and there's a big clasp, and you can't really see it. It looks like it's part of the T-shirt in this picture, but
Yeah.
it's around there. So I
Oh,
was
I
really
think
proud to be able to rock his
yeah, so
jewelry.
you can see that really really
Yeah.
well in that one.
Hey,
Yeah,
men can wear pearls. Men
men
can wear
can
pearls.
wear absolutely men can wear pearls. We can wear whatever we want. And you know what? So Crystal and I, and Crystal was like, I wear a men's 12. The sneaker struggle is real. Exactly. you know,
It is so
it's a
real.
thing. So me and Crystal, we were talking as we were sitting there because I told Crystal that Crystal, they sat right down across from us. And
Hmm.
told Crystal, hey, this is my grandma's kufi. I think Crystal might have video of this,
I
her
believe
me
she
saying that.
does. Yeah.
I think I was telling this story, and then Crystal, of course, told me the story of wearing her grandmom's ring. So we were really bringing our folks to the ceremony because, of course, the next thing, right? These pictures, which we're going to, we might as well keep going through the pictures because this is before the ceremony. So let's just
Right.
do this, and then we're going to tell you about the ceremony.
So of course there's a step and repeat moment, like you see.
Look,
There's a press room.
press room, that was very new to me. So there's like a little board. So they didn't have our names on the little thing. So it was like, oh, but we have a board. You could just write it in. Because what you have to do is that you have to hold it up. They'll take a picture of that. Because when like Getty goes to pull your image, they'll
Mhm.
know this is Q Points and then this is J Ray, right? So they took a picture. So that was really new. And it was a whole step and repeat. They had two. So they had the one that they can do with the reporters. So 2024 Q Points is going to we're going to have some PR so we could
Absolutely.
get some on the video. And then they had another one where there was another photographer who was amazing, just taking pictures as folks kind of floated through. And this picture, shout out to Black Love, shout out to Crystal Hill and the whole Black Love team because we got a chance to meet Felicia and Correga. And they are so dope. We was just vibing out.
We had a moment. We had like this super bonding moment with them. It was kind of unreal how they connected. First of all, they immediately connected with us because of the interview you did with Samora,
Yep.
and who is great friends with
Mm-hmm.
both Felicia and Kalega. So it was just like, oh, we're already connected.
Yes.
We are already connected, and they were sharing stories about how they came to where they are now,
Yeah.
as far as the podcasting and telling and being storytellers,
Yeah.
being educators and
And
musicians.
musicians. Yeah.
So we all had, it's like, oh, we're meant to be connected. We're
Yes.
folks. And we're even connecting them with friends of ours who are
Yep.
doing things similar, parallel to what they're working on. So it was just really dope to work with them. But you know who I was most enamored by in that moment
Mhm.
is Crystal, because Crystal was
Look
busy
at
working. You hear me?
Crystal was not
Crystal was
playing.
working the room, all while holding a cup.
Yes.
I'm not going to say what was in the cup, but she was working the room, and she had her clients,
Yep.
navigating everybody. Hey, I need you to speak to this person.
Yep.
Oh, wait, come over here. You need to take a picture here. We need you to get a picture with these folks. She helped put this picture together
Yep.
of us and the winner of the evening, Anna Deshawn, but we're gonna get to that.
Yes. Yes.
But I
So
just, I have such a respect for Crystal and all
yes.
that she was doing that night. So it was just really dope to see you in action, Crystal, for real.
Absolutely. It was so dope. So yes, on the left is Anna Deshawn and on the right is Crystal Hill. And so yeah, just a super dope moment. And I'm glad we have this picture and that we all got to be together, y'all. We were really up in that thing. We was really up in that thing.
We were rolling deep. Black
Mhm.
Podcast Association, we was in there deep, deep. And so there came a time where they was just like, okay, folks, it's let's all kind of move along to the grand ballroom so we can start the show on time. Listen, when they said we are starting on time, they meant we are
Baby,
starting on time.
get seated, kids. That woman came out there and was like, I'm just coming to give you the instructions. You still have 15 minutes. I said, well, come on, ma'am.
Turn your phones off.
Off. Very clear. Off.
Take the last bit of selfies that you want to now, but turn the mugs off. No, but it ran so. First of all, when you walk in, all the screens are lit
Oh,
up with the graphics for the Academy graphics and logos. The two screens on either side of the stage, the boom camera to get
yeah.
those aerial views. I mean, whoever was in charge of production, that was Emmy, like Academy
Oh,
Awards winning production. Like
absolutely.
seriously.
Yeah.
And to be there, it was like Jerry and I kind of had a moment. We were sitting, first of all, we sat down in the front.
Right.
And then when we sat there and we took
We
it
looked
all
up.
in,
Right. I was like, oh,
we
snap.
we had a moment. We were like, this is legit. Like
Right. Yeah.
this ain't no shade to church plays and whatnot, but
Mm-hmm.
this ain't no church play kind of production. This is
Mm-hmm.
like the real thing.
Yeah.
And so I think I was even more taken by when they did the opening credit scene
Yeah. Oh,
with
that was
with the
so
animation,
emotional. Yeah.
because we saw
Word.
our show logo in the whole sea of
Mm-hmm.
all these others. It was like, oh, there we
All
are.
right.
And then we saw it again. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
we there. Then we saw it again, and we're like, oh snap, we are really in this real.
Yeah. That was it was a wonderful moment to take in. And if there's anything I want to impart on folks, and I'm curious for Crystal as well, like how were you in that moment? So if you could drop that in the chat. But I know that for us sometimes, let me speak for me, I'm gonna use an I statement. For me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so focused on all the things, right? And in that moment I chose to just take it all in. The fact that we were sitting in that room amongst all of these folks, many of them were nominated, that production was so solid, just gave me an opportunity to just take it in. And then of course Larry Wilmore was totally funny.
Oh my god.
It was like, oh, this is literally, it really was, to your point, it's like this is legit, like we are literally here in this moment in this room after 90 shows being nominated for an award, and this is real.
And it was so interesting to you got to hear little glimpses of all the other nominees and
Mm-hmm.
even the presenters
Yeah.
giving us glimpses into what happened 2 years ago, because
Right.
this award show is only 3 years
3 years
old.
old. Yep.
And the woman that announced our category
Mm-hmm.
told us that when she did it, she was recording it from the basement of her
Yep.
mom's house.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, the whole awards were virtual,
Yep.
and they were watching she was presenting from her mom's basement, and she was like, "Wow, we've really come a long way." And I think everybody kind of had that similar story of, during the pandemic, a lot of people's podcasts were born.
Mm-hmm.
So there was, everybody kind of commiserated with that, and that's with that type of sentiment. And it was just getting to that moment where they announced the DIY segment.
Oh, yeah.
And we saw it because it got personal to us. See,
Oh,
look
look
at
at
this timing.
God.
Look at this timing. So
So,
they're announcing the category for best DIY podcast,
mhm.
and we see our friend Anna
Anna
Deshawn,
Deshawn.
Queer
Queer
News,
News.
is up there as
Right.
a nominee.
Yep.
And I could visibly hear, because J Ray's sitting right next to me, I could visibly both hear her say at
Yes.
the same time, and the winner is, and we both took a deep breath. And when they said queer news, Anna Deshawn, Ray was like a jack in the box and popped up right next to me and was
Listen.
yelling. And we were like, all of us, Black Podcast Association peoples, it was like an HBCU in there.
It was right.
We were yelling over that, like,
High fiving. What?
High fiving, and there she is, the GOAT. Anna Deshawn came down to accept her award, and we were just completely thrilled to see her, to see you up there, Anna, was inspiring.
Yes.
And on top of that, Anna delivered a word while she was accepting her award. So it was just awesome.
Absolutely. Like, and I mean, one of the things I'm gonna dote on. We're gonna dote on Anna for a second because you deserve it, Anna. And one of the things that we know is true is, one, how much work Anna puts into delivering queer news is such a high quality. It is outstanding. So well deserved. And the other thing is how willing she is to share the knowledge that she has gained with us. And so she stood on that stage and encouraged us to keep this thing going. We absolutely loved it. It was like, oh my God, yes. And I will say the funny thing, and I think I said this to Anna last night, but I was like, also, we were like, oh, we knew when Anna's category came that we were nearby because it was a lot of categories, y'all. And we were like, oh, we knew that entertainment was coming. So I think we were like 2 away from that. And so it was also like, oh, we're coming up. So it is like, and so then you get tense again because it's like, oh my God, I don't know.
We're like, oh. And in my mind, I'm just like, okay.
Yes.
If they call our name, first and foremost, do not trip up these stairs. Take your time going up the stairs. Walk sideways if you have to, because I've got big feet, y'all, and the stairs are narrow. So all I can see now is my big ass like toppling over and fall, and tripping and becoming viral from that. But it was, and I'm going through a speech in my head, like making sure we thank our people and making sure that it's within 30 seconds.
Because we only had 30 seconds. They was not playing, y'all. 30 seconds. You had a timer.
They have a huge timer, so when the 30 seconds is up. And and you know what? As it just so happened that we did not win.
Yeah.
But we were still, it was like, okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's okay. We were still in this moment of gratitude, of just excitement in the moment, excitement because our friends had won.
Yeah.
And we were just like, okay, let's keep this momentum going. And we also had more friends that were nominated. So we were like keeping our fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
So we could celebrate for other people. So it was just, I don't know. Now I realize why. First of all, again, shout out to the production team because the show ran smoothly and on time.
Yeah.
But I cannot imagine those other award shows where you have to sit there for hours. And it makes sense why they give them alcohol to sit there for hours because you have to have something after a while. We were only there for maybe about an hour and a half.
Yep.
That was complete. That was short in comparison to like the with the Academy Awards, the Grammys, those type of shows. And it reminded us, Jerry and I were both walking out, and then we just had a flashback.
Yep.
We said we almost met 12 years ago.
Yep.
Sitting in a BET Awards. Was it the BET?
It was the BET Awards. It was the Hip Hop Awards.
Hip Hop Awards in Atlanta at the
Civic Center, the old Civic Center.
The old Civic Center. Jerry and I were sitting in the same room. We was literally separated by one person.
Yep.
And we didn't know each other at the time. We knew the person that was sitting in between us because they're the ones that got us the tickets.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there for hours because at the BET Hip Hop Awards, it was all right, cut, let's do that over again. If a
Yep.
performance was messed up, they had
They
to
had to
do it all
redo it.
over again.
Yep.
They and so they call categories at least 2 to 3 times because people weren't there on time, or they just that was a lot.
It
And by the
was.
time we were finished, we were done for. We were fit to be tied.
I literally, I remember in that moment saying, me, I ain't nowhere near nobody's award, nothing, right? Go figure that now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm near some award stuff. But I remember at that time saying, I'm only going to these things if I'm nominated. Like, I remember, like, I will only show up. This isn't fun. I will only show up if I'm nominated. And baby, don't let me get to the point where I only show up. You got to tell me if I'm winning. Like, because it's like, it
Oh
was
yes.
so, it was so long. But this one was not like that. And I do want to point out something else as well. So it's so funny that you were concerned about going up the steps. I was concerned about my pants falling down. So I was like making adjustments, and I'm like, I can't be like pulling up my
Listen.
pants as I'm going on the stage. This is not good. Who's going to grab the trophy thingy? And it's like a lot going on. It was like, oh my God, calculating everything. No need to do that, right?
Oh, I already had that choreographed.
Okay,
But go
good.
ahead.
Because I was like, child, I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So anyway, I will say that that moment of watching all of those covers appear on that screen was like, yeah, and I know we said that at the top of the show, but it truly was like, oh, we did that. Like, okay. Because the
Yeah.
Hollywood Reporter thing, I'd forgotten about it because it was like, it was there on the website. It wasn't like invisible, but when it appeared on the thing, I'm like, oh, we're in like a Hollywood Reporter sponsored category. And Q Points is there. And so in that moment, I kind of, it didn't matter what was going to come out. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so happy. So the Scamfluencers, I heard her speech, her acceptance speech was super funny and amazing.
Hilarious. Funny.
So congratulations to them. But just being in that room with all of those amazing folks, watching Anna win the award, watching all the other nominees, including Stitch Please, and of course, Soul Affirmations with Felicia and Correga, was like great that we were all there to support one another. And so
Yes.
shout out to the Podcast Academy for really putting on a great show that I felt like truly honored some great diversity in podcasting. It was a really, really good and special night.
Absolutely. And in this moment, it so there might be some people who be like, "Oh, y'all still talking about this podcast awards?" Yes,
Absolutely.
we're still talking about it, and I'll say, and this is an I statement. This is why I am making space for this moment, because I believe when you tell the universe, your creator or whatever, when you say thank you,
Mm-hmm.
and you show gratitude for what you have experienced, for being nominated, in that thank you and gratitude, you're saying, oh yes, thank you, and I want more.
And I want more.
And I want more. So I say that we're speaking about this because we're grateful, and we in fact want more.
Mm-hmm.
We're expecting more,
Mm-hmm.
and we're working towards it. We're here to stay.
Yeah.
We're pushing this rock up the hill as far as we can go. And yeah, y'all are gonna be just along for the ride, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. Like we are, y'all are just gonna have to deal with it. We're here, y'all. We're about to do this thing. J Ray. So yes, we took a little break
Mm-hmm.
from our scheduled program
Yeah.
to talk about this moment because it's that important. And also, you know what? We don't know who's listening, who else is listening right now,
Mm-hmm.
that could very well be inspired by this moment. Because in that moment, matter of fact, when we went to go eat,
Mm-hmm.
when you, me, Anna, Santiago, we all went to go eat, get our Chinese food, there was a young man that we met out there.
Yep.
Who is a Bobby Brown.
Yeah, Bobby Brown.
Comedian.
He's a comedian. Mm-hmm.
He's a comedian. And that was the first time I'd ever heard of him. That was the first time I'd seen him. He ran up to us. He congratulated Anna.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he's like, yo, it was so dope seeing all of you all up there and seeing you in these places because I'm just starting out.
Mm.
And so it was like, okay, so that's why this whole conversation about representation is absolutely necessary because
Yes.
that young man was out there by himself. Like
Yep.
he's really out there going for himself. And yes, I say all that to say when we're doing this kind of work, we really need to be cognizant of, hey, there's somebody that is watching you that could be inspired by this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you win or whether you lose, somebody is being inspired by this moment because you were there. So that's why, J Ray and I are taking this very seriously and being very vocal and thankful about this moment. So
Yeah.
too bad, so sad. You're just going to have to deal with it. We are now known as the Podcast Academy nominees, Q Point Podcast.
We
That's
are.
what all our socials are going to be
It's gonna
updated
be
to say that.
updated, and Anna already said that. Make sure you update it. We are absolutely going to put that in there. I also want to big something up because this brings this back. To make sure that we echo again how important organizations are. The Black
Yes.
Podcasters Association and what folks are doing to be able to lift one another up and help each other grow is incredibly important. So can't say enough about that space. Can't say enough about the Black Pod Awards. We were nominated for the Black Pod Awards last year for Best Music Podcast. And, got to be in the category with now our homie, our brother, Mr. Al
Mr.
Pete.
Al
You know
Pete.
what I'm saying? Like
What?
a whole relationship developed. Al Pete won that award, and we was like, Al Pete is dope as all get out. Like, that's the homie now. He's Q
Yep.
Point's family now, and so that connection. So the Black Podcasters Association, Black Pod Awards, BIPOC podcast creators, Maribel and
Yes.
Tangia, and these folks, we're creating these spaces. I told the story. I went to the BIPOC podcast creators meetup last night. I wish I had loaded that picture up because I would show it. But there's two significant things about being there last night, and I told the people there, it was like I was being an evangelist for this group. One is Q Points was represented on stage at Podcast Movement Evolutions last year. I did a presentation called Building the World You Want, creating a podcast. It was like creating a cost-effective podcast ecosystem. Amazing presentation. Got a lot of love out of that, right? But not only that. So I remember when Tangia and Maribel was like, listen, y'all need to start submitting to Podcast Movement. Did it, got in. Boom. But it doubly was great because at that meetup in 2022, we met Big Mike there. The show that got us nominated for the Ambies was the show with Big Mike.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Do
These
y'all
spaces
get it?
matter.
Absolutely. Do y'all get it? Say it again, J Ray. I
met Big Mike at the BIPOC Podcast Creators meetup in 2022. We met Big Mike and said, Q Points at Big Mike. We gonna do something. We did our 4-part Black country music series. The show that got us nominated was the show from that series.
And that was our very first paid
sponsorship. And that was our first check. Carnegie Hall cut Q Points our first check for that series. So you see all of that came out of that one connection to this group.
Trying to tell y'all.
Spent time with Crystal Hill was right there next. Crystal Hill was right there next to me when I was talking to Big Mike because they was having a conversation. Come on now. It matters. These places, Black Podcasters. So shout out, love Black Podcasters Association, love Black Pod Award, love BIPOC podcast creators. This stuff matters. Let's go, y'all.
So Yep, they gave.
And
See,
yeah,
they gave.
Crystal did give me the really that taco spot. Okay, in LA. So when I go back to North Hollywood, I'm going back. Yo, it's this street taco joint that Crystal put me up on. Listen, up in North Hollywood, crazy. Crazy.
So
Outside of the mattress factory, crazy.
okay, that's random. But listen, the takeaway tonight is if you want great tacos and great relationships, you got to put yourself out there and you have got to make these connections with people because they matter. But I can't say it enough. I'm super proud of us. By Monday, we should be back on regular schedule with however
Yes.
comma
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much going on that we haven't had an opportunity to
Baby.
talk about. So much to talk about. And then, of course, we are continuing our celebration of Black women.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're doing Black women in radio,
We're doing
correct?
Black Women in Radio next week. So definitely come back for that,
Absolutely.
y'all. We're bigging up Black Women in Radio. So y'all want to be down with that.
And I've got a special interview coming up. That's all I'm going to say right now. But I've got a
Mm-hmm.
special interview coming up with somebody very special to me in that realm.
Yeah.
And yeah, just stay tuned. Stay tuned to the socials and stay tuned for next week. J Ray, what do I always say?
Oh,
In this
hold on. You
life,
see Crystal. Crystal, like, she put that black. Yes, Crystal, Black Women in Radio. Because,
yes, Black women.
Yeah.
It's Black Women's History Month. So on look here on Q Points, we picking up all Black women, but we're doing Black women in radio.
So we gonna get with you, Crystal. We gonna get with you. Hold on, we got you. Wait, we'll send you a message. Okay.
Absolutely. But in this life, what do I always say? You have a choice. You can either pick up the needle or you could let the record play. I'm DJ Sir Daniel.
My name is J Ray, y'all.
And this is the Podcast Academy nominated Q Points podcast. We'll see you on the next go round.
Peace.
Peace.